the new. High sex when we ain't new. Wanna give my check to you. Don't know how you do what you do. Sex ain't like a wet dream. You sexy, you let me. If you ever meet a girl named Tina, I'ma tell you what'll happen if you see her. I tell you what'll happen if you leave her. Nobody told me if you eat her. She had some candles, ain't think nothing of it. She started chanting, I thought she was coming. It was a mantra, now I'm bound to this woman, and I love it. Hey, why you got me so confused? Without you, got the blue. Check for you like the new. High sex when we ain't new. Wanna give my check to you. Don't know how you do what you do. Sex ain't like a wet dream. You sexy, you let me. If you ever meet a girl named Tina, I'ma tell you what'll happen if you see her. I tell you what'll happen if you leave her. Nobody told me if you eat her. Look at my ass drinking nothing, out here tripping. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? I'm like tweaking shit. Today feel like the first video that I ever did in my life. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like I ain't never seen y'all before. I guess I'm going through some form of type of rebirth or whatever the hell I'm going through, but I'm definitely going through it. Shout out to y'all. How y'all feeling? If y'all don't know what we here for, we are here for the weekly Astro Report. I am your host, the Hood Mystic. Now, if you got ADHD, if you got an HD television, if you know somebody named AD, that's probably not for you. If you can't focus and concentrate on particular things, like I don't be here. It might be relative 2 hours to I don't know how many hours is in a week, but it's mad hours in a week. I need y'all to focus, okay? I need y'all to put your ego to the side, leave your ego to the door, and indulge in some spiritual conversation with your boy. Hey, can we get some thumbs up in this joint? I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. If y'all can hear me all right, I just want to have some type of peace of mind as we go forward with this conversation. I miss the morning shows too, but the way my children is set up, y'all, it's kind of crazy. Way my life set up, y'all, kind of weird. But I'm here today. No, I would have been here earlier, but I had to work on this damn video. I ain't been doing nothing for real. I ain't even got no serious news, no crazy, no crazy stories or nothing like that. I just been working on this damn video for y'all. So if y'all can't focus and pay attention to the information that's being laid out, I mean, don't hold the phone when you listening to this. That's my thing. If you watching this on the phone, put the phone down. Get you a pen and paper. Start doing some sketching. Start cleaning that room up. You feel me? Clean your desk out. Like, start doing something active. If you at work, at the call center or whatever the case may be, start reading your knowledge bases. You know what I'm saying? Going over your knowledge bases. Like, do multitask with this shit. You feel me? Like, don't not tune in to yourself, because I got some powerful information that is not about me. I think the main important aspect to spiritual development in the realms of spiritual business, spiritual development and personal development and all these particular things is that when I do this, I don't know, maybe I tend to make it about me. Maybe, I try, like, that has been like a slow rolling thing. Like, this ain't no cult of personality. It ain't like the hood mystic says or nothing like that. I feel like I'm channeling divine information for the collective. And if it resonates with you, the kind of conversations that I'm having, the overall gist or the overall goal of this conversation is to get you to be interested in yourself. Now, if you're a person that feel like being interested in something outside of yourself is more interesting than being interested in yourself, then this probably ain't the conversation that you'll be interested in. However, if you're trying to get over a hump, if you're trying to break a glass ceiling, I think I got some information, and I'm sorry if this is not microwavable. I'm sorry if we not traversing through the particular times and ages and having all of this information. If it can't just be done in 2 minutes, or not even 2 minutes, y'all. I heard that people got an 8-second attention span. So put the phone down, man. We about to tap in and tune in to some compound interest. Okay? We about to tune in. We about to go into a spaceship and go into the stars. You understand? You got to understand that the inner world or the inner verse is about expansive as anything externally, but I guess your desire and your real core needs are being misplaced right now. You externally seeking that ultimate of ultimates. Even if you are spiritual, you want to look the part. You want to dress the part. You want to have the money like the part. You want to have money like the mundane, right? You want to have the money like you work in a 80-hour work week. But you want to have inner peace like a guru. But then you want to look like a superstar. And you're not really ready to tune in and tap into yourself. And I say that being around a bunch of spiritual people. Spiritual people no different from regular people if you really sit and think about it, based upon the fact of cognitive dissonance and the lack of understanding compound interest. But where our compound interest is like in hip hop and reality shows and superhero things. We get real meta when it comes to those things, but the intricacies and the psychology or even the astrological transits, we want to act like, well, if I don't study these things, if I don't take a note to what house Venus is in my chart, that'll be something to journal. That'll be something to research. Or you're the exception to the rule of this shit, right? I mean, you don't have no subjective love principle within your energy, right? You don't even have a Venusian aspect to your life, right? Everything is just everything. You is fucking Charmaine Jenkins and you grew up on 21st Street and that's just what it is, huh? Okay. Maybe this ain't the conversation for you, but if you want to aspect yourself and put yourself in a position where you align it with natural laws, I mean, this shit just laid out in front of us as we'll, look at this stuff astrologically later in the broadcast. It's just laid out in front of us, right? And we just don't even care. What I'm talking about is Western astrology. Yeah, every week I get on here and I talk shit about Western astrology. Y'all already know the vibes. If y'all sick of the vibes, don't tune in. But the vibes stand as the reality of just pulling up to somebody's house, right? And I'm using this. You might have heard me use this analogy before, but for people who have never heard this analogy, I'm gonna utilize it and then try to stress the importance of sidereal astrology and understanding sidereal transits in reference to your personal horoscope or your personal astrology chart. It's very imperative that you study your sidereal chart placements. Masteringthezodiac.com. Mastering, like master, ing, like fucking, but minus the fuck. The, like THE, the first word you learned in grammar school. Zodiac. Z-O-D as in dog, I-A-C as in cat.com. You should be writing that on your notes so you can study your sidereal chart. So it's not about Kyrie, the hood mystic. He's into sidereal. You could bear witness to mastering the zodiac.com that you got a whole different birth chart than the Western astrology chart. It's not about me, family. You got to understand that. If it was personally about me, I would agree with all of y'all niggas and say, you don't really have to care about astrology. Niggas know that in the black consciousness sphere, all niggas cared about was witchcraft, hoodoo, and voodoo, doing spells and hexing and trying to get a fucking raise at your job. I was talking to the same niggas, Let's Talk Magic, Facebook group, and things of that nature, talking about astrology. Bat my eyes a couple times, and now everybody is just looking at astrology like it's just the end-all be-all to reality. But then it's like, okay, you in a good space, but you got to learn more information about the art. It's like, damn, I just want to walk up into an astrology chart. I just want to walk up into some understanding of my personal astrology chart. I just want to look at it and it click for me. I mean, if you are a savant and you are a genius, it might work like that. But if you want to understand yourself at a detailed level, it's going to take you some time, fam. And then you got to progress within your astrology learning to say, okay, if I don't understand sidereal, I'm not going to shun it. I'm going to look into it. Just understanding it from just a Google perspective. And if that don't make you want to look up your goddamn chart, then why are you here? This is a sidereal place of understanding. And it's not like, it's like cognitive dissonance needs to be checked. Not because I'm the person to check cognitive dissonance, but it's like if there are CIA agents, right? And this is what I meant to show y'all. This is what I meant to show y'all too, and I'm happy that I'm here. Cause right now we just on the shits and giggles portion of life. And I want to show y'all how bots exist in the world, family. Like shadow work. I want y'all to take a look at the dates of these videos. 1 year ago, 10 months ago. I'm not looking at any particular video. I just want y'all to look at the time of this. 1 year ago. The shadow is a relative older term, but the specifics of shadow work was a concept that came to me after I've been doing Dark Night of the Soul work. Now, this is not no bragging type energy. I'm just letting y'all know how bots work in reference to specific shadow work understanding. 10 months ago, 11 months ago, 6 months ago, right? And then it's probably your timeline probably is flooded with shadow work shit because everybody's timeline is different. 1 year ago, 2 years ago. Now, I'm going to just show you shadow first. Dark night of the soul. I'm just letting y'all know I've been on this shit. So it's not like I'm just coming into shadow work all of a sudden. It's more of a life's work type of deal. It's more like information that I brought to the universe. I know that's not even no point of bragging. I'm just keeping it 100 and funky fresh with y'all. That's it. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but maybe y'all can, but this is where I brought forth the story of Tatalicious, the Dark Night of the Soul. And I actually was working through that, creating my channel, creating my content, because y'all gotta understand, this is some real live shit that when you tuning in and tapping in to shadow work, motherfuckers is just throwing you off the scent. What I'm saying is, you a regular person, right? You just going to work, you waking up, you going to sleep, you got a boyfriend, you got a wife, you got a husband. The reality of doing shadow work is the reality of you tuning in to your cosmic inheritance. The reality of you moving through all of the bullshit and tuning in to your cosmic truth in this moment. Fuck everything else. Everything is perfect because you got a perfect system that operates already. Shadow work is you actually coming in tune with that. And I've been really on this work for a while. So my first shadow work video was 3 years ago. You gotta watch that video. I'm not telling you to watch that video because I'm trying to get views off of it. I'm just letting y'all know that these concepts have to kind of be worked through. You got to give yourself time and patience and understanding. I'm just letting you know the overall goal. But the overall goal is not going to be your particular process. I'm talking about a tried and true way of removing all the bullshit. But the reality is, it's going to be a lot of bots that pop up talking about shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. And they taking that shit from me. Okay? I'm not, once again, this is not Kyrie bragging. This is not Kyrie boasting. This is not Kyrie even making it about himself. I just showed you. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you are tuned in and tapped into source and you bring forth new information, you'll start to see people copying that. You got to not look at that as a negative thing. You got to look at that as imitation and flattery. And guess what? You got to create more new shit. Because guess what's going to happen? The bot's going to have to follow the leader. So that's what we doing now. I'm not complaining. I'm not mad. I feel like if y'all want to get lied to about shadow work, if y'all want to get lied to about astrology, go have fun. You feel me? Deal with what you like. I'm not here specifically for what you like. I'm here specifically for the information. The information is very key for me. So because of that, I don't give a fuck about your ADHD. It's the last thing on my mind at this particular point. If you got a heart, you got a mind, you can relax. That's the type of energy that I want. And if I got 5 people in the chat that's calm, relaxed, and tuned in to their soul, we can elevate to a whole nother dimension. If I got 100 motherfucking flunkies that's buying shit, that's doing shit that I tell them to do, but they ain't actually doing the work, I'm leading myself into failure. So the most esoteric occult thing that I could teach y'all from a relative educational point, from an occult truth, you can Google this shit, less is more. When you look up at the world, because this is how your girl will make you feel for real. If, like, as a man, like I tell you, when I woke up today, I wanted some goddamn ramen noodles. And I know why I wanted ramen noodles, because I love the way that I would be hungry and get into the bag when I was eating ramen noodles. I knew that I was getting to the bag because I wasn't spending money on food. Something about not spending money on food, it equated to more to me. But sometimes when you're in your relationship, it's like, not me personally. Once again, this ain't specifically about me. I'm just letting you know how the energy could specifically look. Because I want to be clear on this. I don't even, like, me and my wife is so in tune that we live at a particular modest level that's a level of perfection. I feel like if we got $10,000 today, we would just keep it regular. If we got $100,000 in a month, we would just keep it regular because we actually be doing the shit that we want to do. But I've seen in relationships that people are not fully satisfied with what they have. Okay? You're not satisfied with what you have. And if you're not satisfied with what you have, you tend to want more. And because you want more, you think it's a righteous pursuit. Thus is going to kind of be the moral of this Venus and Ophiuchus energy. Because the idea of Venus conjunct Ophiuchus is you shedding skin. Now, if you shed skin, you don't want more. You want to get rid of all of the bullshit that you've attracted. But if you obsess with a particular goal, you just feel like more equates to more, which equates to good. But that's not very esoteric. That's not very occult. That's not very spiritual. Abundance of what? Abundance of debt, abundance of problems, abundance of issues. The more that your business grows, the more that you need to hire people, the more that you need to spend money on this, the more that you need to spend money on that. And at the same time, you're not even guaranteed the same cash flow as you had yesterday. So the money that you spent on expanding might go to waste. So the deeper reality as you go into this winter, fall type energy, Venus and Ophiuchus, kind of the first planet. Last year, Venus was the last planet to touch Ophiuchus. This year, she is the first planet to touch Ophiuchus. I guess, relative to time, right? Based upon a particular cycle. And it's like, why I'm so passionate about astrology, because I can really sense the energy. I can really feel the old whack version of myself just melt away, and I'm at the more primal, subjective, primal understanding of what I want. Now, the teaching aspect of this conversation is, are you strong enough to stand in your subjective understanding of who you are based upon all of the bullshit that you removed from your relationship? Because 10 times out of 10, you've been sucking it up. If I'm lying, I'm lying. You've been overlooking it. You've been laughing it off. You've been rationalizing. You've been justifying. You've been trying to act like it ain't happened. But if you was too, well, maybe you don't be purifying with the waning moon like I do and shit like that. And you just be thinking everything is everything, so you're not tuned in and tapped in even to the fucking moon. Elite, if you're not tapped into the moon, you tapped into the sun. The thing about y'all being tapped into the sun is that y'all hate that shit. Y'all hate waking up in the morning, having to go to work, no matter how much money you make. The idea of tapping into the moon is that it's a 14-day purging period, which creates space to acquire new things. Sometimes you can acquire new things and not have the space to accept it. I'll give you an example of how this look like in real life. Say, for instance, you have a negative relationship that's lingering on to you and you're not really happy in it. What's not really happy? That's your Venusian illumination saying that this subjective thing, this personal thing is not what I personally desire for real, for real. However, this person gave me a sob story. This person has some type of relation to me. This person has good sex, or I'm sexually tied to them, or they have all right sex and I don't have no sex, and all right sex is sometimes better. Whatever rationalization and justification or bullshit that you absorbed that you haven't let go of. However, the bullshit is that you'll get a new thing, but you might have a situationship. That's what the situationship really don't work out, because you might get something awesome knocking at your door and you can't fully accept it. If you tuned in and tapped into the moon, and your full moon is you arguing with this nigga, or arguing with this lady, or arguing with this whatever they identify as, you would then be like, I need to let you go. It's a full moon. We arguing. We not in alignment. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go out of my system. I'm going to fast. I'm going to cleanse my gut. I'm going to cleanse my colon. I'm on that time of the month, or I'm working third shift. Whatever the case may be, we not having sex. I'm purging my body. I'm purging my mind. I'm purging my system. I'm purging my spirit. We argue. We argue. It's up. I ain't calling you. I ain't texting you. I'm cleansing myself. When it comes down to the new moon, now I got space and I'm prepared. You hook up with somebody or you meet somebody cool, you righteous in that relationship because you done the work in alignment with the moon. But that's relationships. It could foray into fucking business. Like, you got aspects of you that's attracting bullshit. Because you're attracting the bullshit. You got to understand that shit. Hold up. Wait a second now. If you in a particular situation where it's bullshit, you got to understand that the magnet is within your fucking being. So if the magnet is within your being and it's attracting bullshit, what do you then do? You purge it. So I guess water signs really deal with that. Venus coming out of Scorpio, Cancer, also Pisces. We just had a full moon in Pisces. So it's like very interesting dealing with this water sign. And then twin flame energy, if you able to shed, if you able to purge, if you able to purify, if you able to say, this is what I fucking want. Now, I'm referencing relationships because what you cannot do within a relationship, because 10 times out of 10, your relationship is toxic. Say what you absolutely want, because somebody going to catch feelings, somebody going to catch a charge, somebody going to catch a case, somebody going to catch a disease, somebody going to catch something, right? So you can't be honest within your relationships, and you honestly in a place where you can't fully utilize a Venus in Ophiuchus where you can scream to the heavens your optimal truth. And this is relationship, and this is also career, and these are the things that you want, right? And so the life hack is to understand Ophiuchus to be more of like a snake and shed the skin or shed the dead energy that's attached to your being so you could tune into your primal self. A snake that sheds the skin is still a snake. And we're going to foray into more Venusian energy because it's a double entendre. And you can look at this as me talking shit, or you can look at it as you clearing your own personal energy so you can align with your primal self. I don't fucking know right now. Motherfuckers tell me all the time they love my videos as if I'm out here fucking dancing. Like, niggas act like I'm Chris Brown. This my favorite video. This ain't goddamn entertainment. This is education. It's not about me more than it is about you understanding this. And if you understand this already, you should email me so we could partner up and do a podcast or some shit like that. Based upon your understanding, not based upon your love for me, because honestly, I've never even gave y'all my best moves yet. Y'all haven't even seen me dance. Y'all haven't seen me perform. I've never even performed for y'all to even love my videos. I've given nothing but information though. Referenceable information, and I give it to you in a format for which you could copy what's on the fucking screen. Something about being a male. Something about being me. I don't fucking understand it. I wish one day niggas is going to say, don't speak on me. Speak on the information that I brought forward. Based upon your understanding of it. That's the key. Support us by supporting your damn self. Don't worry about me. Don't say, Hood, you need more views. No, I don't. I need you to understand Venus sextile Jupiter and how it plays out in your life. What is a sextile? A sextile is understanding that you need to get somewhere and get in there. 10 times out of 10, y'all tell me where y'all want to get, and then y'all sit and tell me why y'all not going to get there based upon shit that ain't even the reason why y'all not going to get there. A sextile is simply you getting your ass up and attempting to get there, and then the universe will support you in your endeavors. You got to look at all the manifestations around you. Look at all the manifestations around you to understand that if you have a will, there is a way. That's kind of my deal. So we got square energy this week. So I don't know, man. I don't know if y'all really ready to tune in and tap into yourselves. I don't know if y'all really ready to shed your skin. I know y'all don't think that y'all got a reptilian brain and y'all the exception to the rule, and just because I'm referencing the sun being in Virgo and this goddess energy and this Isis energy, that is going to skip you. Man, it ain't going to skip you, man. It's going to hit you dead center. Dead center. Cause I bear witness and I see it all the time, man. Goddesses and gods and the most talented creators in the universe feeling down. Paying attention to everything, their past, their future, their mama, their daddy, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, and never themselves. The reality, and I know y'all understand this, you think, I know y'all understand, if I had they talent, boy, oh boy, I'd be somewhere else in another stratosphere. But the reality is, the ideas that we want to center in and focus in moving into this week is utilizing what you have. It's easy to look at what I got and say, damn, I wish I had that. And I'm like, no, you don't. And the next person to tell you the same thing. Do you want to take what it took to get here, or worse, or even better? Because you look better, probably more talented, you probably just don't know. You probably make this look way easier than I make it look. I make this shit look hard. But spiritually, I was in a financial space, and I'd be like time after time, with spiritual channels and spiritual downloads, they'll come from different people at different times, but it'd be like the same type of people. And it's like, damn, Albert Einstein in my shadow, I think it was one of them courses. Albert was really helping me with one of these courses, and Albert was like on the compound interest tip like the whole time. Like the way that I got the title of this video, compound interest, is that I was just thinking about it. Like, I'm gonna name this next video compound interest, like without even thinking about what compound interest was. I just had those two words, and compound interest was the message. Whether financially, whether in your business, whether in your life, compound interest. Whatever you pay interest to compounds itself. So it builds on itself. And I can bear witness this with astrology for me. Psychology for me. It's something that I work towards. It's something that I put together. It's something that I formulate. It's something that I learn and I educate myself with. And the reality is, if you put your interest in learning, it compounds itself. The problem is, adults, sexy adults, beautiful ass adults, fat asses, gray sweatpants, stop learning once they start having sex. And so your interest becomes in sex. So you compound your interest in sex. So consciously, it's polygamy, it's toys, it's the throat doctor 4000, it's the rose, it's pornography, it's all of these particular things. Whatever you're interested in, and it's Venus and Ophiuchus is very integral, especially coming out of Scorpio. It's like, I always explain Scorpio as being a bank. Something about a bank, if you go there, put your ATM and you got money in the bank account and they say, man, we'll give it to you next Friday, we kind of low on money. That ain't the way that it works. Because y'all supposed to be integral. Y'all supposed to have my money when I come to this ATM on the dime. I should have it because it's my money. You should never flip me like, man, hey, can we borrow $20 till next Friday? What does that analogy look like in real life when y'all want a relationship, but y'all addicted to porn, or y'all addicted to hookups, or you cheating on somebody? That's compound interest. And Venus going into Ophiuchus, your lies compound on themselves. So it's extremely dark for motherfuckers out here in these streets. I'm hoping that you could be wise enough to release that energy and tune in and tap into your primordial self. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. You got to understand your money. You got to have an account where you just putting money in and you ain't taking money out and it's growing. We grown ass people now. You got to really look at your money as something that's going to be growing with you. And you got to understand that life ain't about to just randomly explode one day. And if it do, at least you was thinking in the realms of positivity when it blew up for everybody. If that's where you at with it, then you're not really going to be able to understand this conversation. So that's just that. But when you kind of older and mature, you kind of don't envision death for yourself. When you envision life for yourself, another thing I want to talk about, because before I get into the astrology, I do this every week, y'all. So if you're new to the channel, you got to understand this is my YouTube channel, and I tend to do whatever the hell I want to do on it. So y'all going to have to forgive me for taking that responsibility for my own shit. But anyways, we're talking about chaos and how it plays out in real life, not in just random spiritual miracle terms where you could just say chaos, but not understand its instinctual nature, and then be in a particular spiritual situation and it's extremely chaotic and y'all didn't understand the basics of chaos understanding, which is actually astrological, which we'll get into this conversation. But you know, man, put the phone down, figure out something else to do, play the video game or some shit like that, get your Call of Duty cracking and just have Hood Mystic playing in the background if this is a hard conversation to get to. But I got a lot of information to explain to y'all, so it's going to you're gonna have to open up your mind a little bit. So, or not, because I can't force you to do shit. But anyways, let's continue. Instincts, Eros and Thanatos. This is a primal birth of chaos. Well, I'm gonna skip that because we ain't doing no Freudian psychology. Hey, listen, if the Hood Mystic ever start talking about Freudian psychology, they done kidnapped me and they got me tied. They got my hands tied behind my back and they told me to lie to y'all. Okay. I'm young till I'm done. You understand what I'm saying? It's Jungian to the Fungian. You feel me? I ain't about to ever talk about no Freudian concepts on this channel. I refuse. But let's continue on. I'm just trying to give y'all an understanding of Eros and Thanatos. And are you living or are you dying? Are you taking a slow life or are you taking a slow death? Because you don't have to actually die. You can actually be happy in this moment. Eros, the life instinct, includes all forces that serve to maintain vital life processes and ensure the propagation of species. He is also called as sexual instincts. Now, Eros is the life instinct and it should be fully expressed. The reality is you were raised on porn and you have a sexual life that is not a real, that you can actually discuss. Maybe because it's disgusting. Because if it wasn't disgusting, if it was beautiful and if it was artistic and, you know, the different ranges of porns that you watch, you would create a forum for it and you would make that the opening monologue for the day. It wouldn't be, hey Hood, how you doing? It would be, hey Hood, I just got finished watching a bukkake. And see how many friends you have after you telling them your true sex life. So you got to understand the understanding of sex. You should be in a sexual reality for which you can have a conversation that you're proud of, and it doesn't matter. It's not saying that pornography is bad. It's saying pornography is bad if you're addicted to it and if you're not getting help for it, and it's something that you are experiencing, but you still want to have a relationship that's healthy. So once again, you're lying. So when you lie, you're bending the universe into a specific place that eventually, this is what you call karma, it snaps back. So that's where shit just get crazy all of a sudden. That's when, y'all know, give me a thumbs up if you was ever going through a tough ass situation, but you wasn't the wrong one. You was getting lied to, and then all of a sudden the right was turned wrong and you was just left unscathed. And you was like, damn, that's crazy. If that ever happened to you before, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if that ever happened to you. That's eros, that's karma, that's you doing the right thing. So you could do the right thing, you always gonna balance out. The problem is emotions, constantly living in ignorance, not being truthful, right? Not understanding that shit. I gotta live in my truth. I gotta live in my truth. Now, for me, it took me and my wife, I was thinking about this, and Luther Vandross' Power of Love came on, and I said, that's what it is. It's power in love. But it ain't power in love like, yeah, I fuck with you, but I'm cheating on you. That ain't love, right? I fuck with you, but I'm doing shit behind your back. I'm lying to you. Y'all grown as fuck. Y'all can't do that. Like, y'all can't do that for your own sake. For your own sake. Because what I'm referencing is real shit. And when you see shit play out, understand this conversation that we having here. Understand why shit happened over there, shit happened over there, shit happened back there, shit happened over there, and it's all based upon them being honest about their own personal path. And if you want to be over there, over here, over where, then you start following their lead. You gonna be in a fucked up situation. It's real easy to say, you know what? Let me figure out my honesty. Let me develop that. What do I want to say to a motherfucker about what I've been doing all day? I'm having a real honest conversation with y'all in reference to what I've been doing all day. I've been with my children, with my wife, and I've been working on this damn article, working on this damn video. That's the reality. Ain't nothing more, ain't nothing less. Now, I don't be really knowing what motherfuckers be on based upon this actual instinctual, chaotic aspect that people don't ever want to check. Motherfuckers, tell me if I'm lying. If I'm lying, put on the chat that I'm lying. Motherfuckers want you to think that everything is all good. Tell me I'm lying. If that's the case, is it true that people only want to see the fact that everything is all good? Meaning that, like, you just never have nothing bad going on. And it's like, if you can't be real about your darkness, then you move into the death instinct, which underlies all manifestation, the underlying of all manifestation. This is where your good becomes bad if your good is not balanced with truth. Because good sometimes is a lie based upon what you want people to think of you. Does that make sense? I want people to think that I'm all good. I want people to think that I'm sexy. And so when crazy shit happen, that's more of me fronting, and my fronting's coming to roost. And then it's like, damn, why all that crazy shit happened to this person? Manifestations of cruelty, aggression, suicide, and murder. It's the difference between honesty and lies. When you're honest, you're able to sip the water out the straw easy because the straw is straight. If you bend the straw, you'll try to bring the water up and it won't. It has to straighten itself out. But the force of life, the force of chaos, is a force of energy and is very powerful. The way that I maintain balance with all of my life is that I'm perpetually a good person. That might seem like hella basic to y'all, but I honestly feel like y'all really let y'all moral compass go somewhere in the dungeon somewhere, And then for the fear of it straightening out, y'all try to get a reading. When the reality is, it could be easily you tuning in and tapping into your straightness. Tuning in and tapping into your actual life instinct, which may just be something of a truth that you're afraid to say. So, that's that. Compound interest is interest on interest. It occurs when you reinvest yourself rather than take it as a payout. This means that interest in the next period is earned not only on the principal sum, the money that you put in the bank, but since the money that you put in the bank gain interest, then you making money off that interest. So the idea is your interest will make money off its interest, but you can't never take it out. So you got to constantly invest, reinvest, invest, reinvest to be in the space of compound interest. And the reality is that you only know when it's actually going to hit its part when it hit its point. Like, you can't force it. You got to keep working. And maybe one day it'll take care of itself, but you can't stop reinvesting in yourself if it ain't there yet. So it's something that you want to do. It's something that you want to grow into. It's some truth that you want to speak to. But if you can't formulate it, you need to get out your way. And the reality is, you can listen to all of these people on YouTube till you blue in the face, till you red in the face. You're going to have to start supporting yourself. So my idea for this platform, for my family is, to seek support by offering you an opportunity to support yourself in the deepest spiritual way. It's things that I could tell you that you can either agree with or disagree with, argue with me about, block me, unsubscribe me because you don't like what I say. That's cool. Or you can start having a conversation with yourself. So, we got shadow work available in the site. Link is in the description, columbianexchange.com. We got 2 3-hour sessions on there. The Q&A was so good on the last session, I had to throw that on there too. So you get 2 3-hour sessions, you get the Q&A, and honestly, it's just to help you begin to do the work yourself. You get a digital PDF of the Shadow Work Journal that you could begin to work through if you got an iPad, or you can get 50% off the actual journal. So that's available. It's a bundle now. And, everybody talking about shadow work. I personally was the first person that I ever heard talk about shadow work. If that's a fact, let it be a fact. If it's a lie, it's a lie. To you. You might have heard somebody talking about shadow work way before me. It's a big world out there. But I stand behind my work when I talk about shadow work. No pun intended. To the family, super excited. We shipped Womb off today. So if you pre-order Womb, you go and get your books this week. Super proud of my wife. I'm super proud of y'all that y'all willing to take this step. But honestly, it's a journal. So you going to have to read it, understand it, and begin to understand yourself and understand your process. This is a game changer. So it's going to be mainly the fellas talking about the moon. The women gonna be on their own time, fellas. They got a whole moon system within themselves. So, we gonna be on the outside looking in, working with this artificial moon, you feel me? Trying to make do with what we got, you feel me? Your wives gonna be in their own realm, creating and manifesting on their own level. This is a very powerful journal, but it's only as powerful as you utilizing it. So I can't make you want to use it. I can only present it and bring forth the channel that came from my wife, got transferred to me. I brought forth her vision and we mailed it off today. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of our family and the growth and the strides that we make in being inventors, as being trendsetters and providing valuable information that's going to live way longer than we live, family. We are creating legacy, and it's so amazing. You understand? But it's only from spirit. You understand? Like, it ain't nothing that we just regular people. So when I talk about shadow work, when I talk about journaling, I'm talking about tuning in and tapping into yourself out of just thinking yourself spiritual because you watch this video or that video. I don't care who you watch on YouTube. What work have you done in bringing forth your soul? Last time I checked, people just be Tamika Jenkins from up the street. It ain't nothing wrong with Tamika Jenkins from up this street. My reality is just more tuned in and tapped into my soul and the work that is done that brought forth this integration of my higher self that will bring forth information that don't have shit to do with Kyrie, but can benefit the whole collective. So I'm only grateful for the legacy that we create on the day-to-day. So thank y'all for bearing witness to the facts, moving forward. This Saturday, we got October 30th at 11:11 a.m. We got our marketing powwow. I got me a right-hand man already. Shout out to Chris Sapp. He gonna be helping me MC, holding it down with y'all questions. But I want y'all to get out all of y'all business questions, and we want to just help y'all, give y'all a direction of where y'all to go. If you got the question, man, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I done spent so much time learning this shit that I could just tell y'all shit in 10 minutes that would take y'all fucking 2 hours or 2 months or hella long to fucking figure out. You understand? And I'm not saying that I know everything. So once again, this week, if you know something about marketing and you feel like you can help people, I'm not going to give you a freebie. I need you to pay $11.11 to help people. You feel me? Support us by supporting yourself. And we want to have real conversations in reference into marketing your business. Why is marketing so important? Because marketing takes your business out of your mind, out of your hand, and into your consumer. So it's not like a concept that you shouldn't focus on if you got a business or if you a person out here. If you trying to, you got to market yourself. You understand that? You have to put a value on yourself, a value on your products, a value on everything about yourself so you could be. It ain't like I want to consume you. I don't want to consume you. Like, that's nasty when I think about it. Let me consume you, baby. No, but I do want to eat. Like, that's nasty too. I'm talking about relationships and marketing your ability to be in a relationship, and it's like you want to be cunnilingus ready, fellatio prepared, and that's marketing. You want to clean up. I don't know where this conversation is going in. Hopefully I ain't got no sex toy businesses, because that's what I'm feeling like them going to be type questions I'm going to get. But sometimes spirit talks to me in weird ways. Let's get into this astrology. So like I said, we're going to talk about Venus. The most important thing we want to notice about Venus is that she is in the realms of Ophiuchus in the chart, and you can bear witness to it in the sky. Okay? Not something that I'm making up. Venus is in the Milky Way. So what does this look like celestially? Trying to show it. Yeah, there it goes. Trying to get my spinner right. Venus is going to be aligned the Milky Way this week. If you notice the energy change, if you pay attention to energy, if you pay attention to subtleties, then you can understand a subtle shift in just how you feel and what you want. The reality is if you're able to verbalize it versus if you're able to just notice it and just be like, my energy is shifting, but I'm not shifting. I'm going to just stay the same, right? That's just one level of it. The deepest level of this conversation is you to recognize how you feel. First of all, recognize how you feel. 10 times out of 10, you operating off of expectation, operating off of desire, and never even had a chance to get into a point of recognizing how you truly, truly feel to the point that you either speak or you begin to act. I'm going to bear witness to a particular fact. Until I did shadow work, I'd never done that in my relationship, not even one day. I would take shit and understand, if you just take shit in reference to how you subjectively feel, for good or worse, you're going to ruin your life. And so Venus is going to be square Neptune. Neptune is going to be moving into the sign of Pisces. Venus is going to be in this particular spot. And the reason why it's important is because Venus is going to be elongated. Elongated, Ophiuchus, the Milky Way. What makes it like that, why we can see it and perceive it to be the Milky Way in such a vast point in space, is because it's further away. And the thing about seeing things further away is that you see more. So this being representing further is just representing more that you can see. It's the vastness of space. It's the vastness of the universe in a deeper galaxy. I can't even remember. I think it's Orion or something to that effect, but it just you can see the different stars and galaxies, so much so that these are individual stars and planets and galaxies and solar systems. They just look like lights in the sky. And the more north you get, the more clear you will be able to see the Milky Way and also Venus. So another thing, Venus is going to, because it's so bright and it's shining down on the earth and it reflects through Venus about like 7 o'clock at night, or once it starts to sunset, the first star that you'll see is Venus. But you know why? Because that astro galaxy universal light is shining and peering through, right? It's clearer to see now. You're going to see it every night, so its influence is going to be stronger. Now, Venus, to a person that lives in their truth, is like, yes, I'm about to really do me. Venus, to a person that lies to themselves daily about what they truly want, this going to be hell week times 50, not because it's bad, because you are a liar and the universe has to straighten itself out, because the universe and your lies can't exist in the same place. Y'all just bear witness. Y'all seen all of those thumbs up. I seen thumbs up too when people do you wrong and then you see crazy shit happen to them. The craziest shit happened to them. And you like, damn, I know why that happened to you, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But you know, and I know why that happened to you. So you know, people create a reputation like that out here in these streets. Tell me if I'm lying. Is it people in your neighborhood that you know not to fuck with? Is that a true statement? How you know not to fuck with that person, but you be fucking with that person, but you know not to fuck with that person? That's a level of karma, right? To the point where a person, you could exude a walking karma or a walking reputation, or even understand even at a deeper level. When you perceive or get into relationships and you wonder if a person is going to do you wrong and that type of thing, if they think to do you wrong, your ancestors be on their ass. Another realm that this Sidereal, Ophiuchus, and Sagittarius energy represents is ancestors. So the person that loves you the most has to be your caretaker when you are a child, because that's when you are most vulnerable. That's when you couldn't articulate yourself. That's when you couldn't defend yourself. And here you are. So if you are here today as a full-blown adult, your ancestors love you. Even if you had Brenda as a mama. Even the fact that Brenda threw you in the dumpster, Tupac still made a song about your ass. And that's the grace of spirit. That's the grace. Like I said, Neptune slowly traversing into this Piscean area. And really, what's going to really acclimate if y'all don't tune in and tap into too many bots, is that you'll be activating your spiritual profession or your higher calling, and this is going to be a deeper alignment. You're going to activate your past lives. Now, if you hold on to your present and future life in relation to your future life, you're not going to be accessing your past life. You have to be Venus and Ophiuchus, shed your skin, so you could actually see what your spiritual calling or your higher calling is. You got to have a heart for it. You got to have a desire for it. The problem is motherfuckers got a desire for food, going out, going to trips, having a good time. Y'all will work like dogs just to have a good time, as opposed to, so Venus would be what you do on the weekends. Now, if what you do on the weekends ain't done every day, then you subjecting yourself to punishment for 5 days out the week, and then just having fun on the weekends or just having fun at night. But your subjection or your truth has to come to the light, and it'll come to the light as a conversation. How it plays out after that conversation going to really be up to you and your ability to have had understood your truth for a long time now. You a grown ass human being out here in these streets. So let's break this down esoterically, metaphysically. Venus ranks third brightest celestial body to light up the heavens after the sun and the moon. So the sun would be your work. The moon would be your sleep. Now let's look at 99.9% of the population. Y'all go to work and y'all go to sleep. The thing that awakens us, the thing that illuminates us to higher celestial consciousness, spiritual understanding, is specific to Venus and Ophiuchus. It is the planet of illumination. If you want a deeper dive, I do have a video on YouTube titled Venus Explained. The link is right here. I'll put it in the descriptions, or you can just search it on YouTube. Venus Explained, Hood Mystic. Whenever you search my videos, be sure to put Hood Mystic, because if you put a topic or a video that I've done, it could be Hood Mystic, or it could be like shadow work, and you'll see like a 1,000 videos about shadow work, and you'll never see my videos about shadow work, and that's just the way that it goes. So I don't know. Anyways, moving forward. Venus will be in conjunction of the constellation of Ophiuchus. If you don't know what Ophiuchus represents, Ophiuchus is the Latin word for the Greek word Asclepius, which is the Greek word for the Egyptian word Imhotep. Now this ain't what Kyrie's saying. Imhotep, Asclepius, and Ophiuchus. Okay. No, it's not Ophiuchus. It's Ophiuchus, like Ryu from Street Fighter. That's how I'm gonna remember now. If you ever look like, is it Ophiuchus, Ophiuchus, or that Ophiuchus? Okay, that's going how you do it. All right. Let's just learn a little bit. You gotta learn. I'm about to change my name to the cognitive dissonance killer. I can't stand your cognitive dissonance. Y'all just want to act like y'all just know everything. Y'all spirit and y'all ancestors are going to teach y'all everything, huh? To the point that you don't got to learn nothing, huh? Sounds good. Asclepius, Imhotep, Ophiuchus, Joseph, the son of Jacob, and finally Balthazar of Babylon all have a historical outline, personalities, and were the archetype of the healer and alchemist, being of high intelligence, wide field of interest, non-royal, meaning regular human beings. Y'all got to understand this, but become major person in advising the ruler of his day. Y'all know my best friend in the conscious community is Oprah Winfrey. I'm actually sponsored by her. Y'all don't even know that. Oprah gonna be like, boy, you a psychic for real. Cause you always be talking about me. You just know that I be watching your videos, huh? How you know? I'm like, I'm really a psychic. If Oprah wasn't watching my videos, I've been talking about Oprah for years. If y'all been watching my videos, y'all know. I, I mean, she a billionaire. So she wanna know about Imhotep and shit. She don't got a baby daddy. You understand? She got a whole magazine and corporation to run. She need to figure out what's what and what. You understand? Get on her level is all I'm gonna say. Thus, Imhotep was the original story. Imhotep was the original story, while the fable of Asclepius was based on that of Imhotep. And when I had a homeboy named Roos. When Zeus raised Asclepius to the heavens, he actually raised Imhotep. Imhotep, who comes in peace, became Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. You should remember this one line. In a few weeks, when I start with prophecies of our future, I don't know, there's somebody just writing, but I'm trying to get y'all to understand the understanding. Because we're going to get into some understanding even more. So when I say Asclepius, understand that I'm saying Ophiuchus. But when I say Ophiuchus, I'm also saying Imhotep. The Greek myth tells us that because Asclepius was able to literally bring people back from the dead. You got to understand. Well, man, all of the information that I put forth, if you really listen to it, if you really paid attention, the things such as Kundalini, the things such as shadow work, the things such as Sidereal Astrology, is to awaken your soul from the death of materialism, family. Y'all think that the nigga with the most money, y'all think the brother polites out here is really righteous because they tuned in and tapped into the financial sector of life? Because they around entertainers and shit like that? Because motherfuckers dress good and fucking things of that nature? Like, I dress up and do that shit too, but I'm still me. And I ain't even doing it because I feel led to do it. I'm doing it because I'm married to a woman and you know your wife want to do shit like that. You a lame if you just like, you know that you don't want to go out as a man, but you still a lame if you don't go out with your wife. You're a lame. And I'm just not a lame. So if my wife want to go out, I'm gonna go out with her and I ain't gonna be fucking looking dumb. I understand that, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck. You gotta be both. You gotta understand. And once you understand that you gotta be both, you gotta be human, but you also the greatest greatness of spirituality, but it's not something that is based upon an ego aspect of yourself. It's based upon a shedding of bullshit that you've accepted about yourself. Later, remorseful Zeus placed Asclepius, Ophiuchus, or Imhotep, the serpent bearer, who was raising people back to life in the sky. Between Scorpio and Sagittarius, barely touching the ecliptic, stands a giant serpent healer, a giant man in the sky in the image of Imhotep. Now, my rap name, this is a coincidence because I live in a world of coincidences. My whole entire being is coincidence after coincidence. The reality is that it's been so many coincidences in my life that I can no longer believe in coincidences. So Sidereal Astrology brings you back to life based upon its exact placements and understanding. I can do these live videos on YouTube, but you have to do the work of understanding your own chart so you can bring yourself back to life. You need to know your fucking placements. And if you're looking at a chart where everything is 30 degrees and 12 equal portions, that's slavery. And you ain't really learning shit. You're not really being brought back to life. Your soul ain't really resonating with that. Yes, you may get more, you might get a raise at your job. Your business might take off. But you know how hard it is to run a business? You know the idea of a business is to build a business so big that you can sell it. That's the idea of your business. Your idea of your business is based on compound interest, not on making money from day to day. What if I said business ain't for people who need money? If you need money, the best thing to do is get a job, because now you don't have to worry about paying anything. All you worry about is showing up to a certain place and getting something. Now, if you got money and you want to invest, reinvest, business is the best thing. But y'all don't want to reinvest in y'all business more than y'all want to take the little money that y'all did make and buy shit. Not even knowing that you ain't even have no exit strategy. What's an exit strategy? Well, you need to have a business plan to understand the exit strategy. But if you in your business to make money, the times where you not making money is really going to hurt you. Versus an investment that you made. Y'all understand how that shit work? How a rich person will invest in a company and just see how that shit go, versus a person who start a business and need shit to happen a particular way or else they kids ain't gonna eat. And you can't force nobody to come into your business and spend money with you. You gotta learn how to market it. October 31st, 11:11 a.m. Ophiuchus is one of the 13 constellations that cross the ecliptic, the path of the sun. It is a constellation that crosses the ecliptic. So if your astrology doesn't teach it, that's simply because they want this aspect of the stars hidden. It's an aspect of astrology that they do not want you to talk about. And I'd go to say, if a person does not want to reference Sidereal Astrology, they are a bot, and you need to watch out for their ass. Tell them I said it. And let's tell them how we going to talk about energies that's actually existing within the ecliptic, for which we not going to talk about, because some system was created by some person named Ptolemy who just knew all end all 2,000 years ago. That really sound like the Jesus shit, but it's just with an astrology twist to it. Little cosmos sprinkled into it. Ophiuchus is one of the 13 constellations that crosses the ecliptic, the path of the sun. It has therefore been called the 13th sign of the zodiac. August 23rd, my birthday. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. I live in such a world of coincidences, man. I always be tweaking on how many coincidences. I was born in 1984, okay? 1 plus 9 is 10. 8 plus 4, well, 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. Goddamn. So the numerology of my birthday is 1313? That's so fucking weird and so coincidental of how much I talk about sidereal astrology, and it's supposed to be this Egyptian man that bring people back to life that was hidden from the masses. This is so weird. This conversation getting kind of spooky. Ain't it getting kind of spooky to y'all? It's getting kind of spooky to me. Anyway, because I didn't factor none of that in. That numerology just kind of threw me off a little bit. Constellations, on the other hand, are unequal in size and are based on the position of the stars. That's it. That's what a constellation is. The constellations of the zodiac have only a loose association, a very loose association with the signs of the zodiac, and do not generally coincide with them. So when you talk about Western astrology, you got to understand that you're not even talking about astrology. You're talking about a system that is highly Kabbalistic, straight up Jewish lockdown, straight up bot magic that you love. But I digress, or progress. It just depends on what you thinking I'm doing at this particular moment. I'm going to let you decide. Am I digressing or am I progressing? I feel like I'm progressing the conversation forward. But once again, if anybody want to argue with you, argue with me. I got one suggestion for you. Argue with your mama, because we ain't about to do that shit today. Venus conjunct the ascendant, the furthest place away from the sun. Ophiuchus, the planet of magic, the planet of spiritual truth. Very small energy. Scorpio, Ophiuchus, very glimpses of time. I represent these times as portals. Now, esoteric, occult conversation. Venus and Ophiuchus brings about debaucherous energy within us. What is debaucherous energy? Anything that seduces us from virtue or morality or corrupts our morals and principles or our deeper integrity. Um, I would talk about that as an esoteric concept, but I'm not here to not be relative and rational about what's happening in the world today. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't about to get too esoteric with y'all. I'm gonna get in the real world with y'all, and let's talk about some pornography, and let's talk about young people, and then let's talk about how you be an exception to the rule, and you ain't never watched porn before, you ain't never masturbated, and you just live in this isolated world where you not like nobody else. So, you be an outlier and just look at us weird people talk about this real shit. Young people rely on the internet and its unlimited supply of pornography to ward off external stress. The instant gratification gratifies instantly, but the external stress is, in large part, being caused by the internet itself. The internet itself is a feedback loop bot machine. I added that part in. It creates the demand that it then seeks to fill. It's an endless pool of false reality. But it has created debaucherous energy, which will seduce you from virtue, seduce you from integrity, seduce you from morality. And it's not a moral conversation, it's more of a psychological, spiritual conversation. So personal power is you not asking questions, and more of you being the video that I uploaded yesterday about the architect or the blueprinter of your brain. If you understand who you are as a person, I know that the things that I'm going to manifest, and it's like for me, I just know that I'm going to manifest it. I don't always know how. Like, I'll give you an example of personal power. I wanted to invest in a different cryptocurrency that was a new startup, but I didn't know where to begin. I decided to take a left and go to a store that didn't have what I was going to get. But we ended up talking for an hour about this new cryptocurrency that I'm about to invest in real soon after I get off this video. And I was like, thank you. He was like, thank you for what? I said, I wanted this and you gave it to me. I asked my spirit for I told him, like, I asked my spirit for a new cryptocurrency and you blessed me with this. He said, you spiritual? I said, yeah. He said, you gonna be rich one day. I said, I'm already rich. I just look like this. I could go do all types of shit right now with money, but I took my time and energy to create and craft this long ass video for y'all. That's more important than goddamn money. I want to be able to establish something deep within y'all that y'all can understand that shit. It's not about what I want. It's about who I am. Hood say it all the time, but I don't understand. Recognizing your lack of integrity will allow you to do the real work behind the scenes. If you know you are lying, if you know that you addicted to pornography but you can't talk about it, if you know you cheating on your husband but you ain't tell him, if you know these things, it's like, well, keep lying then. Keep lying. How about that? I don't fucking know, right? Well, if I tell the truth, what's gonna happen, huh? I don't fucking know. He gonna get mad. You shouldn't have done it. I don't know. You confusing me now. You do bullshit and you don't want nothing bad to happen to you because you do bullshit. As a man, I know if I get a brick and I flip that brick, it's a possibility that the feds is going to arrest me and I'm going to do hard time. It's not about the money that I make from the brick. It's not about right or wrong if I needed it. It's not about the emotions behind it. The facts is, it's a reality. Every time that I'm dealing drugs, I can go to jail. And if I go to jail, I ain't gonna cry about the shit. Because the whole time I made that decision, the whole time you cheated, you knew it was wrong. How does the universe balances itself out? Very harsh. But do you continue to create more karma because you escape and whistle and you a snake? You tune in. The snake is the snake, but the snake also sheds its skin. You got to release. And if the reality is you don't want to be honest, but you want to live honestly without being honest, create the honest situation. Just leave. And never come back. And then if he be like, well, where you go? Or if you see him one day, it be like, I was cheating and I wanted to be with somebody else and I was a punk about it and I couldn't tell the truth. But your inners of living split, of addiction, drugs, sex, food, is creating your outer, and it would have never been my bag unless I was like doing this spiritual work and peeping it. Like, damn. And I'm doing Merkaba work. I'm doing like real spiritual soul work. And I'm going to sleep with different vibrations. Like, damn, I am the soul. It's going to work out for me. Wake up, it work out for me. I ask a question, it get answered. I see these connections. I understand connections and also protection. I understand 6 degrees of separation and things of that nature. Oh, you friends with Jamie Foxx? Yeah. What's up, Jamie? You know, regular shit. Oh, y'all doing a movie? Oh, okay. Cool. About what? About person being cloned? Damn, that's a coincidence. Wait until the movie come out. I'm gonna be like, this movie about me, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, you lying. I'm like, yeah, I am. It's just a coincidence. You know how this coincidences just be following my ass. Our inner world creates the outer world. In other words, our vibration or the pattern of our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Not about the money that you get, not about the job that you get, not about the boyfriend or girlfriend that you get. Your vibration, the pattern of your thoughts, your attitudes, and your actions create your reality. That's because, unlike what past scientific theories assume, the space around us is not empty. It is full of a living essence, which is like a conduit that carries our mental frequencies out into the field of possibilities. Another false assumption from the past was that our external circumstances just happen. They don't. We create them. Like oscillations of a bowed string, the notes we play do matter. So if you want to change what you experience, then you must change your vibration. What is your favorite vibration boosting activity? And please don't say porn. So, Venus, square Neptune, highly emotional energy, where you need to shed and learn information. Adults, this is the last thing that y'all want to do. Y'all want to be grown. Y'all want to know everything. Y'all want to have everything. And you want to just hand it to you in the microwave. And then when you get microwavable food, you don't like the way it tastes. And the reality is, if you wanted some gumbo, you was going to have to wait 2 days for it to be the way that you wanted it to be. So if you wanted the best food that you wanted, you was going to have to wait 2 days for it to get all the juices to simmer and get to that perfect space of taste. But if you wanted to eat right now, you could have threw a Hot Pocket in there and just been the same type of satiated. So you got to determine, do you want a gumbo or do you want a Hot Pocket out of life? Emotional thinking is the opposite of rational thinking, and it's not about men or women, because men can be just as emotional as women, but emotional thinking is when we stop being rational, when we stop being practical, and when we intuitively ruin our lives. Because thinking is a rational, proactive aspect. It's not emotional. We could utilize our emotions behind our thinking. It feels good to be thinking on a particular level of high intelligence. to progress through my goals and my tasks and to get things done. That is an emotion behind my thinking. If my emotions are before my thinking, then if I don't feel like working, who feels like working? Rather just have a little smoke fest, make me some Long Island iced tea or some goddamn Kansas City tea, and watch some porn. I'm joking. Hopefully these jokes are landing well. I feel like my jokes don't land ever, but moving on. Emotional thinking leads to cognitive dissonance. The last week we really hammered home on cognitive dissonance. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to plant seeds. Eventually I'm going to have to do a whole cognitive dissonance dissertation because it is actually the thing that ruins adults. Where you should never stop learning. You should be 95 years old, waking up like, what am I going to learn new today? You get 36 with 2 kids and a husband, and you know everything because you own your house and you got a fucking coupe and you got a fucking van. There is no permanence within life. Thus, you would have to learn how to manage both vehicles. You would have to learn if you want to expand from a duplex to a triplex to a fourplex to a whole building. You would have to learn on how to get that expansion. But the deeper thing is what you are. But if you don't strive to know, you will never be what you actually are. But if you hold on to these false beliefs, you block yourself from even knowing yourself. Your false belief creates the emotional thinking, which creates the cognitive dissonance, which lives in the realm of addiction. So you don't never get an aspect to your inner world, because whenever you get a glimpse of your inner world, you going to get some food, you going to get some dick, you going to get some pussy, you going to a club, you getting dressed up, you drinking alcohol, you smoking weed, you taking pills, you doing things because your inner world has been told to you that it's a useless place. So when you're alone, you hate it. You're not really alone because you're smoking or you're drinking or you're fucking when you're alone. But to be alone and to realize that you're not alone is only found when you tune in and tap into your inner world. But you would have to be very, very clear about what that inner world looks like. Addiction, external relief, blocks you from actually being clear, because what is the underlying to addiction is thanatos, which is killing you. So even if the addiction serves you emotionally and mentally and it makes you feel good, long-time use of that particular substance might lead to long-term psychological mental health effects. Especially with the marijuana, because it's not like niggas is getting marijuana from Tone no more. Niggas is going to a goddamn store getting weed the same way as niggas get Coca-Cola. If you drunk Coca-Cola every day for the rest of your life, you would get a disease. Thus, if you smoke the weed that you getting from the stores every day, it's going to fuck you up physically, which would be why your spirit or your body is telling you to stop universally. But spiritually, psychologically, ancestrally, you're not clear on the messages that your ancestors are giving you, because it's anxiety, fear, pessimism, boredom, lack of love, all buffering and barriers to the true sense of developing the inner world. And then to add insult to injury, the things that you want out of life, you're not even getting that shit. The irony is that you do have a little something or another, but you ain't happy for it because the addictions are emotionally throwing you off. So this is square energy. When I reference square energy, I'm not trying to boost you up. I'm not telling you how easy it is. I'm giving you real life shit. And honestly, I know what it's like to want to feel like if I'm driving in a car, I gotta smoke a fucking cigarette or I gotta fucking smoke some tobacco if I'm driving. I know what that feels like. The reality is I drive all the fucking time and I don't think I need some tobacco. I need some nicotine. I'm saying I've been there. I've been there. I know what it's like, and it's not a place where you're going to stay at for the rest of your life, if you so choose to. If you begin to feel better about who you are, the addictions are not that hard to release. If you still feel shitty about who you are, addictions begin to be the thing that pull you down and hold you down. And then your addiction, the conversation that I'm having now, motherfucker can bear witness that you're not the only one that's struggling with this. Thus, it's a spiritual thing that's happening where y'all gonna release these addictions. Y'all gonna release this bullshit that you holding on to, i.e. the snake shedding the skin. And you are going to be so clear on the shit that I'm saying today that is not even going to be a point of I'm saying something out of resonance. It's not even going to be a point where you're not waking up every day and learning. It's not even going to be a point where you're not emotionally thinking, that you're just thinking rationally, it's not even going to be shadow work. It's just going to be called being fucking honest. Because my honesty is not going to lead to a catastrophe. If I take a risk, if I'm vulnerable, if I put myself out there, it's only going to lead to better things for me. It's only going to lead to more clarity because the person that I'm putting forward is a good motherfucker. And you ever been in a situation where you know you a good motherfucker? That's a lack of better words. And if a person say, no, well, we ain't going to take it today, you know, this, that, and the third, it ain't working for me. If you know you a good motherfucker, you don't even care that they said no. 10 times out of 10, you got some better shit to do anyways. But when you ain't a good motherfucker, you be really broken if a motherfucker tell you no. That's because you lack self-value. And who gives you that value of self? You give it to yourself. So you can't never say, my boyfriend isn't making me happy. Can't never say, my girlfriend isn't making me happy. You gotta say, I'm making myself happy. And once you say that, you ain't even gonna want to smoke weed no more. You ain't even gonna want to drink no more. You ain't even gonna want to hook up with people. When you value yourself, I value my energy, so I can't even have sex, even if it's handed to me the same way as I would if I didn't value myself. But how do you value yourself? You shed that skin, i.e. detox, i.e. release, i.e. purify, because it's magnets to you in that addiction, into that debauchery. And it's personal. And motherfuckers ain't never gonna call you on that shit because one, motherfuckers don't know. And two, you look like a fucking superstar out here in these streets. And you be wearing them TikTok leggings that make your ass look fatter than it already is. So ain't no way I'm gonna call you on your shit. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna say, even if I want to, them TikTok leggings do something to me. Seduce from virtue or morality, corrupt the morals or principles of. So what is your spiritual direction? Where is your higher calling at? And where's your vices, habits, or addictions pulling you away from? And what the fuck are you doing about it? Are you detoxing? Are you releasing? Are you purging? We do have a waning moon. We do have Neptune encroaching into this good old Pisces energy. Slowly, surely, I run away from love. What y'all know about that Jill Scott? I was listening to Jill Scott. She was on my Discover Weekly, Crown Royal. That song is so goddamn nasty. Like, that was pornography to me as a young child. Y'all ever heard Jill Scott by Crown Royal? If y'all want a nasty, freaky song to listen to get you in the mood, turn on that Crown Royal and put it on repeat. And add in WAP by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. Now, I don't like that song, but I love that song when you having sex. Something about them and some sexual, energetic energies being reflected out their throat chakra, fam. I was up in some goodness gracious the couple months ago. You know, maybe it was like a hotel trip or something, and that goddamn WAP came on the shuffle. It hit different when you in some wet ass and the song come on. And you can kind of reflect on the different aspects of WAP while you in WAP, in the beat, in the bass. That's some demonic shit, fam. But if you into that, must I did not like that song at first until it came on the shuffle, and I said, "Hey, run that back, DJ." I'm just being honest. Unless, and I think I'm highly sexual. I've always been highly sexual, but I needed to be sexual within a monogamous relationship. It's rooted within a spiritual principle. The lower forms of love are of the emotions, which are essentially unreliable. But higher love, higher spiritual love is dynamic and energizing. In order for, I can tell y'all the honest truth. Until I just never experienced success until I found my partner. And it's like every single day it's all about communication now. Cause communication is how we're ever going to grow. Even if it's hard, even if it's difficult. It's not necessarily about emotions and how people feel, because that's a lower form. The higher love is found in the throat chakra, the third eye, the crown chakra, where you speaking it, you seeing it, and you tapped in and tuned into the spiritual, but you also in the realms of love, in the realms of passion, in the realms of intimacy. Because Luther said it, it's the power of love. Now y'all can be the deepest niggas on YouTube. Y'all can have all the money, all the ice. If you don't understand love from a spiritual, what I mean by spiritual is that it has to come from a understanding, like this is my spiritual partner. I see spiritual shit and it be ego shit. You have spiritual people that can't even fully embrace relationships in the forms of love, but they want to tell you about spirituality and how it's going to benefit you. But you got to understand what's going to benefit you. Relationships. Relationships is a vital piece to the Maslow hierarchy. I forget. Hierarchy of needs. And it's very easy to attract a partner. You have to be integrity. You have to be honest. And if you are doing something that you can't talk about, it's your fault. Don't justify, don't rationalize it, don't realize it, just correct it and be in the honest truth. You got to be so honest that you feel yourself vibrating from your honesty. Because you feel the stagnancy of your lies. When you start speaking your truth and you start speaking your honesty, I guarantee you things start happening for you. You start connecting. Motherfuckers can't get enough of you because you going to give them the energy. You already look good. But that ain't enough. You got to figure out how to be honest, how to be magnetic towards good shit. But you got to find the good shit within yourself. I find it interesting and ironic that the girls who had the porn always get the inboxes with the niggas with the dicks, and they always think that's the niggas with the dicks, and it's they bad. No, you obviously have the magnet to the dick energy. You put something out in the universe that made a dude think that you wanted to see a dick. And it might not be that you watching porn, but it might be that you watching porn. I'm just saying. It's exceptions to all rules. Having self-doubt at the moment make it seem that difficulties are insurmountable, which can specifically come from losing your personal power, which comes from being sovereign or being integral. It's not about not having sex. It's about standing on the fact that you had sex with 10 people today. If that's the reality. Because you would tell me about, like, it's not like people don't tell you about shit that they've experienced. You ever been kicking it with somebody and they just start telling you about shit? Yeah, I went to the store and they was wearing, they had the same dress as me and to tell her was this, that, and the third. Get real articulate with stories that make them look good or feel good or sound good. And I be like this with people when they start talking to me. It sound good, but I'm from the trenches. I kind of like girls that's honest to a fault. Because it ain't no fault to be honest. See how that work? My man Shakespeare got a quote for us to tie in this Venus and Pisces energy. You here now, you might as well not be afraid. You might as well lean into the fact that you're going to live forever. See what that feel like, what that look like, start experiencing good shit. Like, it's a real point of the spiritual 144,000, all that type of energy, revelations, and motherfuckers being sucked up and never coming back type energy, flying off on spaceships and the rapture and all of that shit. Yes, that's what that was. But you not a part of that, you here, so what did that make you? That makes you part of the new earth. That makes you part of the new Atlantis. Might sound weird now. A year from now, you'll be like, damn, I can create my reality. Be like, yeah, I told you that shit back in October 25th when I was doing the one video, the weekly astro report on compound interest. I mean, it's people that's investing $1,000 in crypto coins today is going to be millionaires next year. Compound interest. See how that works? You don't even read on compound interest. You don't read on cryptocurrency because you got cognitive dissonance when it comes to learning new information. See how that works? You trying to skim and scam. You trying to trade and make money today when the reality of compound interest is that it takes time. You should never be trading your money because you gambling. You should never gamble your money. If I was a rich man, I would never lose money. Even when I'm attempting to lose money, I'm only buying shit for which I can benefit off of, but I could also sell. I learned this from selling weed. No, I never sold weed. Let me correct that. I only sell things in my store that I actually would use just in case a motherfucker would never buy nothing for me. At least I got a whole bunch of shit that I might eventually use one day when I'm referencing herbs and spiritual products. But 10 times out of 10, I can never use it as quick as people need it. So it's a good thing. It worked 50-50 for me. So I really want to hammer these points home because these points is very valuable. Venus and Ophiuchus being the first illuminator in its Ophiuchus energy, you have to release the old version of yourself. Because this version that you have attached to yourself won't even put you in the game. You'll tell me what you want to do and then tell me 50 things of why you can't do it. Take that 50 things and shed that shit. You see how that works? Your doubts is lying to you and you accepting those lies and you holding them like a badge of honor. If I didn't talk to people, I wouldn't necessarily be able to bear witness to the fact that people going to tell you why they can't make it before they tell you why they can make it. I'll do you one better. Have you ever known somebody that perpetually tell you what they can't do, how they can't do it, and you try to be the person that boosts them up? You even give them shit, money, connections, all the shit that make them be successful. And what they do, they fuck it up. You know why? Because they attach themselves to their doubts. Their doubts are a part of them. The only thing that's ever going to happen to bring you successful, which is the greatest irony of life, this is where me and Oprah, we like this on this. Surrender, letting go. Learning to surrender all that you are to actually access the spiritual self, and it could be the worst shit in the world. If you can let it go, you can tap into your source and tap into your divine magnetism and move forward. So this is a long drawn out conversation because this is a long drawn out energy and I'm not even nowhere near done. So hope you still got your phone put down. To summarize this Venus square Neptune energy, can you adjust to a new situation by learning or absorbing new information. Because the reality is that what you know or learn, you become. So your inability to learn new things, if you know or learn stagnancy, you become stagnancy. And you justify it because it is an aspect of your being. So what should you do? You should simply release it. If you refuse to learn information, you stay the same, stagnant. If you learn new information, you enter into a realm or a portal of learning your hidden powers. But your compound interest, your interest is on your soul or spiritual development because we square Neptune. Neptune is the planet of spiritual development. The key word of Neptune is development. It's okay to learn about yourself. It's okay to say, I didn't know that I was going to be the person that I am today. But I interested on myself. I bet on myself. I rebet on myself. I even reinvested in myself. And even today, I bet it all in the space of reinvesting in my time and energy to deliver content for you today. That's extremely long form, extremely long winded, but I can't even escape it even if I wanted to. It's not even that long when you think about the scheme of the world. But in reference to TikTok, it's a lifetime. Efficiency equates to the natural laws, which are always the solution. All is mind. The mind is all. All is womb. The womb is all. All is chaos. The chaos is all. When you align with these natural laws based upon understanding, based upon application, based upon you actually taking the notes to tune in and tap into some shit, to learn some new information about yourself, as opposed to imagining that you are the exception to the rule and everything there is to know about the world is already known. And because your ancestors said it, because your spirit's guides told you, because you did a reading, and because this person and you watched this video and you got this certificate and you went to this school and you live in this house and everything is right. But did you learn? No, I haven't been learning. I've been on the grind. I've been trying to create my ego to be bigger than what it actually is. Though I haven't been learning shit. In reference, if it's been increasing my ego, I've been learning that. But no, not really about myself. Because I am the exception to the rule. Venus in is Ophiuchus for y'all. For me, it's wherever I want it to be. Good. What is efficiency? This is why emotional thinking is a problem. Efficiency is the power to accomplish something. When you are emotional and you emotionally put yourself out of it, of what you can or can't do, you wouldn't be efficient, which having a system to get something done is power. Being rational, being cooperative, being understanding, learning teamwork, power. I'm about to do an acting thing. I'm going to be Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage playing Charles Kaufman and Danny Kaufman in one of my favorite movie scenes ever. And this is all about love is not a receptive thing. And I don't care if you look good. I don't care if you sexy. I don't care if you got a lot of money. You should never expect love. Even if you are rich, even if you are sexy, you should love the person that you love. How about that? Let's talk about it. Charlie Kaufman. Well, Charlie and Donald. I'm going to go back and forth from Charlie to Donald. There was I'm not showing the video because I don't want to get this video demonetized. So I'm going to just do the acting. And if y'all demonetize me because I'm doing such a good acting job, then I'll take that demonetization. There was a time in high school, I was watching you out the library window. You were talking to Sarah Marsh. No rehearsing either. This is straight off the muscle. Let me get my mind. Let me drink some water. Oh God, I was so in love with her. I know. You were flirting with her and she was being really sweet to you. I remember that. Then you walked away. She started making fun of you with Kim Canetti. And it was like they were laughing at me. You didn't know it all. You seemed so happy. I knew. I heard them. How come you look so happy? I love Sarah Charles. It was mine. That love, I owned it. Even Sarah didn't have the right to take it away. I can love whoever I want. But she thought you were pathetic. That was her business, not mine. You are what you love, not what loves you. That's what I decided a long time ago. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you. Continuing with this Venus sextile Jupiter energy. Well, Venus in reference to what we just been talking about. I'm not going to double tap into Venus. We just broke it down. However, it is going to be square Neptune and sextile Jupiter this week. So I wanted to bring an understanding to the square and the sextile. Maybe a little light at the end of the tunnel if you the type of person who don't be honest about what you do behind closed doors. And maybe you never are going to be that person because you just perked out for life. And good for you, man. Good for you for making it in this world, being perked out, dishonest, and ruining the universe because you want to live with lies. Congratulations. So, as we know, our Venus energy is tuned in and tapped into Ophiuchus. Jupiter is moving into the realms of Aquarius, the water bearer. Jupiter, the planet of luck. Aquarius, the sign of luck. You could be unworthy if you want to. Get your ass away from my ass, though. I'm worthy. I'm about to listen to just gospel music when I get home. And just thank Jesus for all this abundance and prosperity raining down on me just because Jupiter is in Aquarius. I'm sure every gospel song ever written had some form of Jupiter Aquarius reference into it. Because, them Christian songs be like, you just came out the goddamn brothel the other day and Jesus like, it's okay. You are redeemed. That's what this Jupiter and Aquarius energy is. But it's sextile, so it's little effort. The effort that I find with this sextile is going to be centered in material gain. And understanding that material gain, what your job pays you, is not a reference of authority. Even if you get money, that's not the end all be all. You can still feel lost and unfulfilled. Venus sextile Jupiter is, are you willing to fight that deeper understanding within yourself that no, all I do need is money and my problem is because I'm so broke. No, your problem is because you're so broken. It's a difference. Can you create the sanctuary to find your inner voice after you shed the skin of your old 50 reasons why you can't be successful? To find just the simple inner world, inner voice, just not in a space where you showing off, letting people know that you got it together when the reality is internally, mentally, emotionally, you don't got it together. You need help. You're not getting help, so your inner voice is being shut off. That's the problem. You want to get help so you can tune in and tap into your soul. And even deeper, Aquarius rules the 11th house. 11th house meaning house of friends. Do y'all see that? The 11th house is where you make your debut into society, and the reception you get out there. It's the traditional house of friends, but also extends out to colleagues and social circles. This house reveals your own way of being a joiner, with the defining factor being the zodiac sign that sets the mood. 11th house Aquarius. Just showing you some things and teaching you some things so you can. Astrology is so hard. Do you have friends? Yeah, I got plenty of friends. That's your 11th house. Astrology is so hard. Come on now. This is the house of Aquarius, Uranus, and Saturn. So when I'm telling y'all things and I'm showing y'all things and I'm explaining y'all, it's like I ain't saying shit. And I know I be making sense. It's them other spiritual astrology motherfuckers that don't be making no sense. Last time I checked, I be watching videos too, cause I don't want to be a hater, but I just don't be knowing what the fuck people be talking about, fam. I be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Can you have an actual point to what you're talking about? Or are you just gonna really just sit here and just talk? Sounds good. Jupiter in Aquarius, your inner sanctuary, leads to connection. Why does it lead to connection? Because Aquarius rules your 11th house, your house of friends, your house of social connections. But if you a perked out motherfucker internally, emotionally, and mentally, even if you do meet these people, you gonna be a liar like you been a liar. So how do you serve yourself in knowing that you about to meet some cool people? Getting your mind right and your mental right. If you a goddamn deviant, just because you're not telling me you a deviant is going to show up somewhere, somehow, some way. I can hear deviant energy within your conversation based upon what people are doing to you, as if you're not the magnet to what people are doing to you, as opposed to being truthful. If you are not truthful, weird shit is going to happen to you. Thus, you got to be real with yourself. You can't be real with yourself if you keep running. Can't keep running away. We need to make practical decisions. Also, we are needing to be true to ourselves, if you haven't known that already. Emotions do not lead to security, but learning practical when it comes to your inner connection to self. What you might have to do during the sextile when it comes to tuning in and tapping into your soul group is saying no to the people who are not a part of your soul group. It's people that you with right now that's not a part of your soul group and you know it. You can feel it, but you attach to them sexually, mentally, financially. Y'all probably got kids together. It is not to say that you got to break up with them, but they have a hard time understanding that you got a whole path. And they have a path too. But when people try to step or impute or move into your path, you know what you begin to do? A real short-sighted shadow work. Say no. Because I'm aligned with my inner truth. And that's just the end of it. I was going somewhere. I was doing something. I had a purpose. I had a plan. I had a path. And you disrupting it. You disturbing it. Leave me the hell alone. The people, places, and things, extreme attachment will create unhealthy and long-term things. Sadly, possessions have become your life, and now you assess your self-worth based on how expensive your car is, how many bedrooms, how many flat screen TVs your house has, and none of this brings you closer to your soul group. It just means that you got a fly-ass new flat screen that nobody's watching because you spending most of your time at work. You might as well pawn that goddamn flat screen so you can have some money. What this also means is that you must continually work hard to generate an income to sustain this standard of living and to sustain your ongoing obsession with material possession. You'll get the money and it don't make you feel no different. If it do make you feel different, it's for a short time only. And the real kicker is that you know when you go to sleep at night, you want to be around people that love you and accept you for your truth. A, you haven't found that truth within yourself. B, you haven't put the people around you that ain't a part of your soul group or notice. I'm about to be moving soon. This ain't where I'm supposed to be. You know that. The great soul is the person who has taken on the task of change. If he or she is able to transcend fear, To act out of courage, the whole group will benefit, and each one in his or her own life will be suddenly more courageous, though they may not see how or why. That ties into the bots, but that also ties into your soul group, and that also ties into bringing about the situations that you know within your soul that you're supposed to live in, the things that you're supposed to exist in. But if you're afraid of existing in your truth, then your fear will perpetuate. So once again, I'm going to give you the bio life hack of all life hacks in reference to sidereal astrology placement is to shed that skin. Shed that reptilian brain skin of fear and reactionary energy and tune in to the power of the soul that is like, look, I got you. You got to go to sleep without anxiety for the one time. Anxiety for not wanting anything and not wishing that things be better, but accepting where you at in this moment and learning how to transcend your fear, act out of courage. Because when you act out of courage, when I see you doing this shit that your soul telling you to do, you know what that make me feel like? It make me feel motivated to keep doing the shit that I'm doing. However, if you keep doing this shit in reference to, I'm afraid, I keep telling you about the same shit that I'm afraid of. You know, if I act out in the form of taking a risk, a catastrophe gonna happen. And you know, I don't want no catastrophe to happen, so I'm just not gonna do shit, hood. You know how weird shit be happening to me. Don't know weird shit be happening to you. Why don't know weird shit happen to you when you go to work? Well, if I try and if I fail, at least I'll have my dignity. The last transit we gonna talk about before I let y'all go about y'all life. Sun square Saturn. The sun, y'all got the sun already in Scorpio and shit. Sun not even in Scorpio. The earth not even in Scorpio. We talked about that. The sun really the earth. What are we talking about? That motherfucker ain't going nowhere. That motherfucker moving forward. What we referencing is your relation to the sun, because all of these planets is rotating around this motherfucker. So if a motherfucker ever tell you my sun sign, well, you just be like, that's cap. How your sun gonna be in the sign and the sun don't even move? You talk about your earth sign. They don't want you to talk about your earth sign because your earth is an anagram from heart, and then that'll be your heart sign. And your heart is the most powerful organ. So imagine the whole people saying sun, sun, sun. See, your sun is what wake you up and have you go to work in the morning. And it may not work for you because you lazy or you got a DoorDash job or whatever, or Amazon. But for the majority of people, the sun signal is working. So when you say your sun sign, you're essentially saying your ignorant work sign, your slave sign. See how that works? So I'm moving off of talking about the sun sign. Astrology Explained, we get into that. It's a chapter on that. But I'm really getting off of that sunshine shit the more that I study the etymology of these words and understanding Ptolemy's spell on astrology and removing me out. Well, I'm not talking about me. I'm not Imhotep. I'm not Ophiuchus. I'm not Asclepius. I'm just a regular guy walking the earth, talking about this goddamn sidereal astrology the way that I do, how I do, when I do. Trying to make sense in a world of spiritual people that don't make no damn sense, and maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, no, for real. Do spiritual people be making sense to y'all? Or do I be tripping? Correct me. Niggas be on here rambling, and I be like, damn, you really taking advantage of the free internet, boy. Y'all really on Al Gore's internet doing the most. Peace. So the sun is going to be conjunct Mu Virginis Regi Al Awa. Screws the pronunciation. Square Saturn. Square Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn and Capricorn is your higher self, your higher calling, doing what you're supposed to do out here in these streets. Capricorn rules your 10th house. Your 10th house means, because motherfuckers be like, astrology is so hard. I'll be like, okay, the 10th house is where you receive your coveted Lifetime Achievement Award. It's been called the House of War Leaders since it's a stance of planning across times and for things that will last. You can liken it to planting seeds that will grow and you might not be around to share in the fruits. So this is your career. This is your legacy. Saturn rules Capricorn. So we are here in this moment, all of us, no exceptions to the rules, because we universally identify with the sidereal placement of Saturn being in Capricorn. And quite simply, it's time for you to tune in and tie into what is your higher calling. How are you leaving legacy? And if your legacy was to pay bills on time, that's not a legacy. You never went to a goddamn tombstone and said, this is Jimmy Johnson, he paid his bills on the first every month. But tell me if I'm lying, what make niggas happy the most? Paying their damn bills on time. Y'all get comfortable with that shit. That's the problem. That's the lie. Because you paid your bills on time, because you got on a nice outfit, ain't the end all be all to this shit out here in these streets. Because you was sexy. I understand being sexy. I could feel how being sexy is a powerful energy. But at the end of the day, you ain't supposed to, like, I'm saying, like, you can be sexy, but that don't mean shit. It's deeper shit to life than the material, physical aspects, and especially if you spiritual. So as we can see, the sun in Sidereal Virgo is on the specific feats of the Virgin, right? The fixed star is Mu Virginis or Regia al Awa. Mu Virginis is Latinized from Virginis, is a star in the zodiac constellation of Virgo. So y'all bear witness. Sorry. Y'all can bear witness that the sun is in Virgo. Conjunct the fixed star, Regia al. So the sun is still in Virgo. The sun ain't nowhere in Scorpio. If you saying that the sun in Scorpio, you dealing with cognitive dissonance. So it was listed in the calendrium as Al Ashir, Regia Al Awa Arabic, meaning the foot of the barking dog. Now, I'm not talking about no barking dog's foot. I'm actually referring to the Bible verse in syncretic, magical Bible magic. We're tuning in and tapping in to the goddess anointing Jesus from the feet. That's the mythology that rang true as this actual placement came online. Sun at the feet of Virgo, sun being Jesus, the feet of Virgo. This was the mythology. This was the placement of this particular mythology. It encapsulated the virgin, the goddess, and also the healing. And it's a level of teaching that's talking about Malkuth in reality. And I know a lot of times you feel guilty because of whatever you've been through. But it's time to release that shit. And even the stars is telling you to release that shit. Isn't that amazing that you could let go of all the bullshit? Because it's bullshit that you got on your being right now. And I'm letting you know right now you can release it. Ain't that, don't you feel lighter? Don't you feel better about the fact that you can release all your bullshit? And you gotta, see, you was releasing all your bullshit. You see what you left behind? I seen it. Like, as you was releasing shit, you don't feel as good because you still holding on to your judgment. yeah, judgment. Yeah, get rid of that too. Yes, release your judgment. Your judgment, yeah, no good. Because you ain't shit too. You releasing your bullshit. Now you released your bullshit and kept your judgment so you can start pointing fingers. Stop. Get rid of your judgment, okay? So we get rid of all of our bullshit. Now we're about to do some occult metaphysics in reference to the Bible. Understand the goddess. And I'm going to send y'all home. We're going to reference Luke chapter 7. We're going to begin at 38. Work our way down to 50. And stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with ointment. So Jesus walked into a building with that big Jesus energy, whatever that looked like. He went to go see his mans, and his mans was like, "What up, Jesus? There's some liquor over there, some wine over there. This, that, and the third. I'm going to be doing my one too. You make yourself at home. Hey, y'all, Jesus is here." But he kept it pushing, right? His name was a centurion. Now, Tatalicious walked in there, seen Jesus, and was like, "Oh my God, it's him, it's Jesus." And started crying and started wiping his feet with her hair. And it's like, "I can't believe it's the Lord and Savior Jesus in here. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness." And started anointing him. Like, "Where the oil? It's Jesus in here. It's some oil. Y'all got some oil?" And started washing him down, giving him anointing, giving him the full goddess treatment, right? Then the centurion come in. He vibing with her now because she done did all of this. He like, "Why you chilling with Tatalicious? You know what she did last week. Tatalicious work at the strip club. Why you chilling with her, Jesus?" Jesus said, "When you see me, you barely even dap me up. You went and go did your own thing. You know I'm Jesus. I'm your mans. I got you this whole situation. You had energy behind you. You ain't say it, but I felt it. And I knew it was real because when Tatalicious came in, she treated me like I know that I am who I am. It ain't, I didn't force her to do it. It's just the reality of being Jesus. I'm just Jesus with it. I can't, I just Jesus it. She treated me like Jesus. You treated me like your mans." Yeah, you do got a point. I'm going to treat you better, Jesus. And so that's the moral of the story. Why I say to you, her sins, which are many, she do be at the strip club doing the most, are forgiven because she loved much, but to whom little is forgiven, the same loves little. So 10 times out of 10, you're now not saying that this is a, like, X-Men or some shit like that. It's supposed to tell you a story on humility. It's supposed to tell you a story on Hebrew Kabbalistic manifestations, that if you are able to be renewed and restored, and you have the faith of being renewed and restored, and you put your energy and your heart into starting over, your soul is going to respond to you. Your heart is going to respond to you. You live from your heart. You will change your life from your heart. Your mind is fucking you up. Your mind will look at your Savior every day and be like, "You know what? Fuck that nigga. I don't like that nigga. What's up, Jesus? Oh, bitch ass nigga." You ain't saying it. You might even say, "What's up, Jesus? I like your videos," and keep it like, but really be like, "Fuck you" type energy. And it's cool. I understand it. But you're not real about your love. That spiritual divine love, it don't hide, it ain't fake, and it ain't because I need you to help me. She was giving him Ashe just because that's what she felt she should do. So the mythology within this is that she's a harlot or she's a mistress. Even deeper, oh, I was about to say something. Even deeper, I'm looking at something real quick. Even deeper, the mythology of Jesus is two Marys. Is Mary Magdalene and Mary Mother. His mother is named Mary, and she's a saint. She's a virgin. But his female partner is considered a prostitute or a harlot. You understand that? So there's these two Marys, that is a virgin and that is a prostitute, and these energies hold the same resonance in Jesus's life. So you have Mary Mother, but then you also have Isis and Horus. So you have Jesus and Mary. Then you have Isis and Horus. Mythology of Isis. She's traveling the world, collecting the 13 aspects of Osiris and putting them back together. And that 14th aspect becomes the sun, or Horus, who is the savior of Egypt, which they're not talking about actual things. They're talking about celestial developments. So when you look at people talk about Kemet and Isis and Horus and Osiris, and they're not talking about cosmology and how these cosmologies actually are in contact of energies today, meaning that we could come up with different cosmologies and mythologies based upon how we view these things, because that's what they did in mythology and history. So your artistic interpretation of sidereal placements, your notes, your development, your understanding of your sidereal placements is going to create a different reality for you. So the beginning of your life is that which you would call your horror phase or your hoe phase, right? The phase where you're just trying to figure things out. Now, the next part of your life is the mother goddess phase. The actual divine chaos womb principle of life. So even deeper, just to prove some points and try to make more sense of this, try to read a little bit. 5th grade reading level, so y'all gonna have to apologize. This parallel to Demeter is another of the many reasons why Isis has become associated with the sign of Virgo. I would say the constellation of Virgo, not the sign of Virgo. Indeed, ancient writers such as Ophiuchus in the 2nd century describe Isis as having a manifestation as the goddess Ceres, and as the title Celestius or Celestial developed, linking several goddesses such as Isis with the supreme heavenly goddess that was also connected to the constellation of Virgo. The trauma that both Ceres and Isis experience in their search for their lost beloved ones has a resonance with Virgo through evolutionary astrology paradigm of Virgo, integrating and accessing its polarity of Pisces through crises. It sometimes takes the gut-wrenching shattering of our hearts through trauma or cataclysmic events to open up parts of our soul or self that we have locked up tightly in frozen emotional holding patterns. Through the heart opening from tragedy, we can overcome. This is the story of Demeter and Persephone, which is the same story. So Mary and Jesus, Isis and Osiris, Isis and Horus, Demeter and Persephone. The Greek mythology is more intact and put together so you can get a deeper understanding of the celestial understanding. And this is where it kind of starts to make sense if it doesn't already. In ancient Greek mythology, the Demeter and Persephone story tells a deep connection a mother shares with her daughter. It tells a story of a young girl who comes of age and falls in love with the dark god of the underworld. So you're supposed to take this and understand that your process or your cycle, this Venus cycle from Ophiuchus around the ecliptic, for however long it took, for however many cycles it went through, you have to understand that you're not your experiences. And when you fell in love with the darkness, you were going to come out of that. Now, when you come out of it, you have to become a little bit more wise. You can't have a negative experience. Like if I did something, which I've done, to come to prison, I've learned from that actual thing to get out of prison, to not be going back to prison again. That's essentially the story of learning through your understanding. Now, what did they say? The emotional holding patterns will have you look at your trauma or look at your things, and the sad part is it will have you recreate it because you haven't learned from it. And the reason that you haven't learned from it and recreate it is that when you tell it to people, they're like, oh, that's so sad that happened to you. I feel so bad for you. But essentially, you're looking at the younger aspects of yourself as unspiritualized love. That does come natural to the body. It is centered in physical sensation, but you should be smart enough, mature enough to be beyond physical sensation, right? Because physical sensation perpetuated over and over again is impure. At what age does sexual thought become pure? Is it 15, 16, 17, 18? At what point? Oh, it's not no specific age? If it's impure for a child, why is it pure for an adult? It's not right or wrong, it's just fact or fiction. If you can't have conversations about the things sexually that you experience with your child, and you want them to grow up in this world having an understanding about the totality of reality, but you're not having sexualized conversations with them and telling them the truth, then you setting your child up for failure. You say, here, take my phone. And they'll take your phone and go in their room and shut their door and lock their door. So when you trying to get your phone back, you got to knock on the door. Can I please have my phone back? Hold on 1 second. Here it go. They got to delete that shit off their incognito tab. Kids know more about that phone than you, so they gonna get their shit off, and ain't nothing you gonna do about it. They gonna get past every code, every password. There's nothing that you can do about it besides have real conversations. And if you ain't ready to have those conversations, really tune in to the practice and understanding of cleansing and purification. Why? Because spirituality includes your body too. Sometimes spirituality, folks think that they can just think on things, do things, wish for things, hope for things, be things, have views, have subscribers, have videos, talk good shit, but never speak to the importance of cleansing and purification, especially if in alignment, especially for men and working with the waning moon. Women, y'all have a whole different cycle, which the womb can help you understand your cycle. Nothing that I can help you with, but my wife is an expert in the womb. So no segue intended, but a segue being delivered. The womb of chaos is the first state of existence, or otherwise known as a void of space. So why am I saying the womb of chaos in reference to Mary, mother of Magdalene, Isis, and Demeter? This is a female woman, goddess, womb man. Isis, feminine personification. Demeter, feminine personification. If you was to get into the root of why these particular entities and energies were feminine, it would be specific to the womb of chaos. But we don't understand what the womb of chaos is. We look at chaos as being disorder and unruliness, but really chaos is the first state of existence. So in order to get to the first state of existence, do you need to add on shit to your being, or do you need to release shit from your being? Think about it. To get to the womb of chaos, the first state of existence, the state of attraction, the state of manifestation, in reference to the shit that you said you wanted. You want this shit. I'm going to tell you how to get this shit. Release the shit that's blocking you from getting it so it can easily be magnetized to you because you are the goddess. Or you have the aspect of the goddess within you. It's just too much bullshit that's blocking you from seeing it. The things that I do in reference to the goddess, I try to bear witness. I try to show you. That 9 days of the goddess shit was hard, but I had to do it. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, that shit almost killed me. Because when you do spiritual rituals for 9 days, it's taking vital energy that keeps you healthy and alive. As I was doing those rituals, my vital energy was leaving me, and I got deathly sick while doing that shit. The moment that I got finished doing that, I felt better. Because I took my vital energy back and I got the downloads. Now, the information that I give you, although it be long-winded, I don't know what else to do. Chaos was often seen to be a female, where she was the primal feature of the universe. Your primal feature is feminine. Your primal feature is chaos, but chaos is the creation of everything. It's not evil, it's not negative. Now, how do they play this out in the mythology? Mary Magdalene, virgin whore. They don't tell you virgin. They give you Mary Magdalene. They don't tell you Isis is the queen of the universe. They say, no, she around here chasing pieces of Osiris ass somewhere. They don't say Demeter is the queen of the universe, though. They say her daughter done played her to the left, and now she gotta beat up Hades and find her daughter, and then Hades look like, yo, your daughter want me. I didn't even tell her to come here. You can take her if she'll leave. She low-key getting on my nerves, honestly. Hold on, how about we do this? How about you stay with her for 6 months and she stay with me for 6 months? Sound good? Sound good. That's the precession of Venus conjuncting Ophiuchus once every 18 months. Demeter, so when Venus goes, Venus is elongated in Ophiuchus. As it proceeds around the equinox, it's going to move closer to the sun. And so this time that it spends in the specific to winter would be the time that she spends in Hades. The time that Venus is opposed when it conjuncts the other side of the goddess, which is her mother again, which you have your more Hathorian energies, Sekhmet type energies, Gemini, that part of the Milky Way. So you look at this mythology and you try to find yourself in mythology. It's not to find yourself in mythology all the time. Sometimes mythology have to find you and say, no, this is what this story is about. These mother goddesses passing on this energy to their children is for you to understand your personal power. Now, if you don't understand your personal power to be that of feminine, you would think your personal power is masculine, which is material. So you think that the thing is going to satisfy you is getting shit. The thing that's going to satisfy you is knowing how to get shit. Because if I give it to you and you don't know how to get it, then you subject to holding on to some shit. If you release what you hold on to and you tune in and tap into how you're going to get it, that's much more satisfying. But you don't get to knowing how to manifest without releasing. These children of chaos thus created the world, which is why chaos is often seen as the womb where all life was created. Not the phallus where all life was created. The womb, the space, the cosmos, the zodiac, the astrology is all based on the science of the goddess. Virgo is the second largest constellation of the known universe. Virgo is the largest constellation of our ecliptic. It takes 56 days of Virgo energy. Future put out a CD called 56 Nights that I'm going to probably listen to on my way home. Maybe you should listen to it after the video's over. We could be vibing in separate places, but listening to the same energy. Virgo is the most important energy that you got to tune into because it is the body. Now, the body is not something that you just use and reuse and use for, having sex. Your body is a vessel that is really craving and crying out for you to purify it, but you somehow detox it, but you somehow the exception to the rule. You can eat whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to the body, but the body is so Virgo is an earth sign. It's your body. It's your physical. You got to love that shit. What else you loving if you're not loving your body? But it's only 56 days. So it's not really egotistical and narcissistic to put 56 days in tuning in and tapping into your body. And even deeper, it ties into your spleen. It's more of a detoxification energy more than it is an aesthetic. Taurus deals more with Oshun type energy. Oshun is more of an aesthetic aspect of the goddess. Virgo is more of the quality of vagina is not always based upon what a person necessarily look like or dress like or talk, or like it be freaky girls, and then you have them and you have sex and they don't be as freaky as they was talking. They like the sapiosexual aspects of sex, but not the visceral, intense moments of sex, and vice versa. You got to understand that your value, your self-value is not about what you perked out and what you study. Your value is really found in you releasing, right? Not it absorbing all of this knowledge and information and just watching shit on TV and watching a video on something, and like I watched a video on that, so I imagine that I can know how to do that. That's not how it works. You gonna have to feel yourself. You gonna have to have faith in this actual aspect. Faith is one of the largest aspects that you need, because faith is going to be the energy that moves you up and moves you forward. Okay? Her sins, which are many, his sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. So if things aren't happening for you, you're going to have to release the negative energy. You're going to have to forgive yourself, meaning that you're going to have to give yourself something in the future in reference to something that you want. And if you are putting forth energy of sadness and not releasing this sadness, you are forgiving yourself that. You are giving yourself this sadness in the future because you're not releasing it. And if you don't release it, it'll still be attached to you. It's quite simple. But the idea is that when you release it, your higher calling is available to you. And once your higher calling comes to you, you follow it. But your higher calling will satiate you because your higher calling is bigger than you. So if it's bigger than you, the feelings around it is going to support you. Meaning that you got other people's guides, you got other people's ancestors, you got a whole smorgasbord of energy conspiring for your greatest success. And the reason how I know you have a higher calling is if you on bullshit and your bullshit ain't working out for you. If you find yourself not working out for you, it's really to the point where you got to release and address your spiritual self. It's a reason that relationship ain't working out. You got to tune in and tap into yourself. It's a reason that you got fired from that job. You got to tune in and tap into yourself. And it might seem like the world has got more for you than your soul got for you. This is where your cleansing, this is where your purification, this is where it really starts at. It's just the reality about certain shit sometimes. And as these processions and these equinoxes move and these seasons change, it's going to be a point where your higher self is going to start really wishing to be integrated into your reality. But if you tuned in and tapped into your material possessions, the shit that I'm talking about right now just sound crazy as hell. And what I'm saying is, your higher calling is more than you know now. So to tap into the point of more than you know, you have to learn. Cognitive dissonance just has you going through paying the rent, and as long as you paying the rent, you imagining that you good. Outside of cognitive dissonance is saying whatever I wish to accomplish, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn things every single day to become a better person. And if I take these steps day in and day out, I can bear witness to this. You experience what is called compound interest. What is compound interest? Compound interest is interest on interest. It occurs when you reinvest interest rather than take it as a payout. This means that interest in the next period is earned not only on the principal sum, but also on interest that was previously accumulated. So as you gather, your soul self is going to be better for you. But you got to give yourself a chance. You got to get yourself out the microwavable shit and really take your time in learning yourself. It's not as hard as it seems. But if you don't have the time to learn, sometimes people can be so uninterested in learning that that's actually the block. You got to initially, faith is just saying, okay, I will learn this. I'll be patient and learn it. I'll take my time and learn it. I'll figure this shit out. And I'll keep my notes. I'll go over my notes. I'll stick to it until I learn it. And as you learn it, you're going to add new shit and add new shit and add new shit and add new shit. It's compound interest. So when you think about success, it's not no one-off thing. True success, true wealth, like really get into this cryptocurrency shit, y'all. Seriously, not for me. I didn't create cryptocurrency. It's just some shit that exists out here in these streets. So, support us as me, Mama Mystic, the baby mystics, by supporting yourself. If you're interested in tuning in and tapping into yourself, giving yourself the compound interest and the interest in the only thing that really truly matters, your fucking self, well, we got the products for you. We got shadow work, the online curse that's available. Links are in the description. It's a 2-3 hour sets plus a Q&A session that you could learn and absorb from, followed by a PDF or an actual copy of the shadow work journey for 50% off. So you could begin to do the work on yourself. You might think that getting a degree is going to help you, and it may help you. You might think that getting a house is going to help you, and it may help you. You think that a car is going to help you, and it may help you. But all of those things that I just labeled, they have responsibilities. I'm challenging you. I'm hoping that you take the responsibility to tap into your soul. It's your personal responsibility to tap into yourself and bring that forward. I'm challenging you to be interested in yourself so much so that you begin to have breakthroughs. But you got to have the faith that yourself can give you the breakthroughs, or you ain't going to have the interest. Hopefully you can use me as a bear witness to the power of the soul. The power of moving through your shadow to get to the soul. The power of moving through all of your projections, all of your bullshit to find your soul and bring that forward. That's a powerful aspect that I hope that y'all can see within myself. But if not, I still got more work to do, and that's okay. My wife, my beautiful, wonderful wife, just put out a journal. We just sent these journals out today to the people who pre-ordered, but we still got some more available. So if you're interested, please check the link in the description before we have to re-up again. But the womb journal, I can't explain it better than you can understand it. So click the link in my description and understand the power of being able to follow your own cycles in reference to what you are manifesting and how you are feeling, and get in front of your emotions as opposed to being behind your emotions. And now you can't deal with people. Now you can't talk to people. And now it's just a negative situation because you're not doing the work to understand yourself. You just want to be pissed off and just let people feel that, as opposed to saying, what can I do about this? My wife is saying this is what you can do, and it's up to you to tune in and tap in. So mama_mystic911 on Instagram, hit her up. This Saturday, we got the marketing powwow, which takes place at 11:11 a.m. via Zoom. It's time to get into the marketing mode because it's holiday season and you got to expect that your holiday season is going to be lit. I hear that 90% of businesses, this is where they make their money at, between November and January, family. So if you are in business and you might need some help, I got a low cost way of getting some valuable information. And I'm giving y'all a marketing campaign booklet that I'm going to talk about how to actually utilize it. So, and I got some people that's going to help me with it. So it's about to be super lit. It's about to be more, I'm about to really focus on like putting more content about business and small business support, because 10 times out of 10 you got a small business and you're doing it all by yourself and you think that you can do it all by yourself and ain't nobody telling you how to do shit, and if they is telling you how to do shit, it's $5,000 and shit like that, and at the same time that's they hustle, so they probably ain't even gonna tell you real shit. So man, look, marketing powwow is ancestral, it's spiritual, it's in your blood to tap in and tune into this. And it ain't expensive. Y'all be buying loud for $50 a pack, smoke that loud and ain't learned shit. At least you get this marketing powwow for $11.11, and you might get some vital information. You might not even have a business, but tune in and tap into this marketing powwow and get a wonderful idea and also how to execute it, because I'm delivering the goods with this shit. So got my boy Chris with me, and if anybody else is interested, the only way I'm trying to hear what you got to say is if you buy a little ticket for $11.11. You feel me? Don't try to get in for free, and if it's only $11, I could see if I'm charging 50 or 100 or some weird shit like that. I'm literally charging $11. So tune in and tap in if you want to help, but you still gonna have to pay. With that all being said, family, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. In referencing to shedding that skin, shedding that bullshit, this has been another long drawn out episode of Weekly Astro Report. Mainly it's a podcast, so if you want to listen to this on the go, search for Hood Mystic on your Spotify podcast and follow Apple Podcast. If you see me on Apple iTunes, leave a review. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to get big in different spectrums and shit like that. So follow the podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. I know some people didn't have the ear strength to keep up. However, for those who did, I really appreciate y'all. Hopefully you shed the bullshit. You begin to be interested in what you're trying to make out here and let that shit build up over time. You about to live forever, and you got so much powerful energy existing within your being. You got life, infinite possibilities, and it's time to start exploring them by tuning into your soul, and can't nobody stop you from that. I know that. So, hit me up, man. Follow me on IG. Hit me up for readings. Buy these books.